Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the A to Z Dotabuff Top 100 Replay Review Series. This is episode 9, and the hero is Beastmaster. This is the rank 5 Beastmaster on Dotabuff, the top pub Beastmaster, and he has over 1,000 games played and a 60% win rate. So very impressive stats. Definitely knows what he's doing. Probably the person that knows the most about Beastmaster. Beastmaster is a pretty versatile hero. He can be played in the off lane, he can be played in the mid lane. He can also be played as a hard support sometimes, just stacking and pulling the jungle. But this guy plays him exclusively as a mid hero. And he has a very set item build that he goes usually. We'll see what it is when we watch the game. But the way he plays doesn't really change from game to game. So maybe this is the way that he thinks is the most efficient since he's played so many games on the hero. But he has adapted to the meta changes, so he's not just gonna... This is not how he's played for like the last 3 years or something. But anyway. This game, by the way, is pretty high MMR. At least above 5k average. You can see Banana Slam Jammas in this game. He's like mid 6k, so definitely no low skill players in this game. Anyway, for starting items, he does go for 3 branches. He's gonna rush the bottle. There's also pool tangos, which is pretty nice. And he gets summons at level 1. The reason he does this is, 1, because they're really good for controlling the rune. Just the hawk for the vision over the rune, and then the boar to slow people. Number 2 reason why he does this is because he always does what he's gonna do right here. So he puts the boar onto the high ground in between the T1 and T2 on the opposing mid lane. And as the creep wave passes by, he's going to aggro it with the boar. And by doing this, he's able to pull the creep wave to where he wants it to be. So when you do this, you do have to make sure that when you move your boar to the high ground, it's a turn around and hit the creep wave like he did there. So the creep wave doesn't lose aggro, because if you walk up to the high ground, the creep wave is just going to run away and go back to the lane. So he pulls the creep wave in between his T1 and T2 to meet with his second wave. And he's going to send his second boar onto the T1 tower to pull the second wave of the Radiant side over as well. So the reason he does this is because 1, it lets him last hit in a very, very safe place. There's no way enemy mid laners are going to harass him over here. And 2, because he's able to deny full experience and gold to the enemy mid laner. If you can see where the sniper is, there's no way he's in experience range for any of the creeps that died there. And that was 2 waves, and 3 melee creeps died from that. So he denied full experience from 3 melee creeps. Super effective way to lane Beastmaster. Really cool trick. Using this method, you can pretty much win against anyone who isn't smart enough to go chase after your boar and kill it. And even if they do chase after your boar, that's a lot of time they've wasted off the lane, so they still might lose a lot of experience. But yeah, this guy does this every game. He wins pretty much almost every matchup just by doing this. And he already has his bottle since he did rush it. Gonna go for Axes level 2 and Summons level 3. Pretty standard. The reason why you go for Summons level 3 and not Axes level 3 is because the level 1 summons are really, really low HP. So just getting that extra level really helps with your lane control, and it really helps with whatever boar stuff you want to do, like he's doing over here. Level 2 axes are obviously going to be gotten at level 4, and some people like to get Inner Beast just to control their lane, to help their creeps push and control their runes. But the way this guy plays, and the way I think most most mid Beastmasters should play, is controlling the lane with a boar. So you don't really need Inner Beast to control your lane. And looks like he's gonna go for the second pull over here. Notice that when he's using his axes to push out the lane, he's always trying to get creeps and hit the sniper at the same time. This is just like basic mid-hero stuff. You always want to use your nukes to get CS and harass at the same time, but it's still pretty good to note. He's going to pull the wave again, making sure to keep the aggro by going up to the high ground and turning around to hit it. So he's gonna do this board pulling thing as much as he can. The way you do it is you summon it 20 seconds before the wave spawns. The board does last a full minute, so you have plenty of time for your board to come. So you summon it at the 40-second mark or at the 10-second mark, and then you walk it around to the high ground. If you're on Dire, it's near the Ancients. If it's on, if you're on Radiant, it's near the jungle. And then you just pull it when the wave comes, and then you pull it back in between your T1 and T2. You also do have to make sure to draw the second wave off your T1 tower with the boar as well. He does go for axes level 5. Pretty standard, I would say. Especially since you're a mid hero, you really want the damage from the axes. The only reason you got level 3 summons at level 3 was because of the HP, as I said before. And this guy is almost level 5. Let's take a look at the sniper. In terms of experience, he's really far behind in experience just because of the wave pulling. And he's level 6, just gonna walk up to him and roar him. And that's an easy kill. Perfectly fine, in fact, very good to use your roar for a kill in the mid laner. Extremely low cooldown, really high value kill, since the mid laner is usually a core. And the sniper was very surprised at him being level 6. Another advantage of the board pulling is that it's pretty hard for the opponent to keep track of how much experience you have. Just because most people use their own experience as sort of like a benchmark for how fast you're leveling. But because you pull the wave, it's very hard for them to do that. Also, notice when he targets his axes to try to hit the sniper, he doesn't click on the sniper. He puts the axes slightly behind him and then a little off center. We'll see if he targets again. You saw where he targeted, it was like a little bit behind him and a little bit to the right of him, and the sniper walked up into it. But the reason you target a little bit off center is because the axes have like a gap in the middle that can cause him to miss, as we see a nice kill on the sniper here. Recognizing that he's gonna go for the pull or the rune, and just summoning a boar, really strong slow. Even level 2 boar, 20% slow, enough to get a kill. But as I was saying, the reason why you target a little bit off center is because the axes have a little gap in the middle that people can sort of walk into and neither axe will hit them. And the axes hit on the way back anyway, so it's only going to hit a max of 2 times. You can get hit 2 times by one axe or you get hit by both axes. It doesn't really matter which. And we see him go for the rune at 6 minutes. He did buy his first item, sorry if I missed that. It is a boot to travel, and he does go this every game. We'll see his first boot to travel gank in a second. So he sends a board bottom, he sees the Earthshaker, he's going to TP to the Hawk, and then move it in, immediate roar, and this Earthshaker is dead. So the way the boot to travel works on Beastmaster is if your Hawk is invisible and standing still, if you TP onto it, people don't see the TP animation. You'll sort of appear after you finish TPing, so it's a really good surprise factor. Also, if you put the Hawk over the trees, they're obviously not going to see the TP, even if your Hawk is visible. So really effective ganking strategy. And the way this guy plays, he ganks constantly. Like as soon as he sees someone on the map and his roar is up, he just goes in for it. You see a rotation mid. Again, targeting his axes off center. If he targeted right behind the axe, he probably would have missed both axes. And just gonna narrowly dodge that gank. His Hawk micro is actually very nice. He's gonna send his Hawk back, looking for a pickoff. Very ambitious, but unfortunately no one's over here. So the way this guy micros his Hawks, notice that he's not usually just putting them over the rune like a lot of Beastmasters would. They're more than just wards you summon and just place over a spot. He's moving them around, he's trying to scout for kills, very active with the Hawk micro. And he's making sure that his lane isn't pushing either. So even though he's looking for ganks, just gonna spam axes every time the wave comes up. Make sure that he doesn't take too much damage on his tower, and let the sniper get a lot of farm. Unfortunately, with this kind of playstyle, you don't really get a lot of farm because you're moving around so much. So you really have to snowball. And we see a nice Hawk Scout over here, and TB's in. Doesn't even need to use the roar, because the Tidehunter is there with a gush. Just gonna slow him down, and easy kill. So notice the way he moves his Hawk when he TP's in. He places the Hawk over the trees, and then he starts his TP. And when he's about to TP in, he moves the Hawk into vision. That way he doesn't get stuck in trees. And oh, really nice dodge by the Phantom Lancer there. Probably still gonna go down. Oh, nice TP in from the Earthshaker, and looks like they're both dead. That was a bit of an ambitious Ravage by the Tidehunter. It has to be point blank or it's really easy to dodge. But as I was saying before, when he TPs into his Hawk, it's over the trees, and then at the last second he moves it into vision, into an open space so he doesn't get stuck in the trees. That way no one's going to kill his Hawk when he's TPing, and he is in a good position when he lands to gank. Alright, so his next item looks like he hasn't decided yet, but he usually goes for Necrobook just to have that extra gank power and a lot of pushing as well. As I was saying before, there's a downside to this playstyle, which is that you don't farm a lot. Let's just take a quick look at the net worth, or gold per minute. He's 386 right now, which is pretty good, top 3, but he only has 33 creeps at 10 minutes, which is, if your mid laner has that, it's usually a bad sign, but he does have 4 kills, which is pretty good. He's also been pressuring the safe lane a lot. So by level 9, he has max summons and max axes, and a level 1 ultimate. This is the standard build. Doesn't really place much emphasis on Inner Beast, which is more for pushing and laning. This is just a full gank build. Again, summoning the Hawks whenever he can. Gonna TP bottom to help his Tidehunter. And axes. Again, a little bit off center and to the side of the Phantom Lancer, just ensuring that everyone gets hit twice. And it looks like he is going to go for the Necrobook. Necrobook is really good with your summons and your aura when you get it. The aura does stack with the red Necrobook aura, and just having that many summons makes it really hard for people to deal with you. If you roar someone and you pop your Necrobooks, if they're level 3, usually these empty out an opponent's mana pool, unless they're really high mana. Alright, so this guy is always keeping his Hawks in the opposing jungle. He's not keeping them mid lane or off lane. He knows that the top priority is the enemy carry. This is probably the gank priority you should use most games unless they have a really high impact mid. But Sniper is not really going to do much mid game besides farm. And he's a pretty easy kill for everyone. They have a Vengeful and a Lion. So not too much of an issue. The PL is probably a bigger priority. So he does get out of the axe here. And for the rest of the game, this is mostly his gank pattern. We won't talk too much more about the gank pattern because it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure to micro your Hawks really well. And when you TP in, just make sure that your Hawk's out of vision and you pull into vision when you're ganking. What's more interesting is the way this guy team fights later, which we'll probably see in a few minutes. Again, the Hawk just constantly following the PL around. And he does go for Aura level 10. Not going to do any stats or anything. Looks like he's trying to settle down and farm a little bit. The enemy team has been pretty good about scouting out the Hawks. Yeah, there goes another Hawk down. You have to be really careful with your Hawks if you're playing like this, because those are your main ganking tools. If a Hawk dies, that's 30 seconds without one, and it's sets you far pretty back on your ganking potential. Is it 30 seconds? 40 seconds, so even worse. So summoning the Hawk, let's see where he sends it. Interesting to note that he did not skill ultimate at level 11. This is not a misclick. I've watched a few of his games, and he only skills ultimate at 11 when he really needs his Thunderation. Like if he's against an Omni Knight or a Nyx or something with magic immunity, or someone with a really fast BKB. He always skills the Aura, as we see a gank on the mid lane. Unfortunate, did not drain enough mana from a Wraith King, and just gonna roar him, but it looks like they're all dead. Axe, what a hero. Yeah, so he doesn't skill the ultimate at level 11. The reason for this is because if you look at the scaling, it only goes up by 0.5 seconds and then 50 damage, and there's like a slight increase on the slow duration, but it's mainly just for the extra 0.5 seconds, which is not going to be a huge deal most games. You'd rather have more DPS from your summons for the aura and for yourself. So he just leaves it at level 1. Obviously you're going to want to get levels in ultimate over levels in stats, but for now leveling aura pretty understandable. So he has picked up his Necro Book, and he's going to summon a Hawk. Notice that he summons his Hawk in base and not when he walks out to the lanes. That way it's a bit easier for you to keep your Hawk hidden in case they have lane wards. And it usually doesn't matter because your Hawk lasts quite a long time, and you want to put your Hawk on cooldown anyway for the second one. As we see a gank on the PL. Finds the real one, but I don't think there's enough damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna double walk away. Quite unfortunate there, but the idea is correct. If there was a less slippery carry hero, he would be owning right now. Again, gonna take over the enemy jungle. Just do this whenever you can. And looks like they're gonna go for a dive on this Earthshaker. When you're going for ganks like this, sometimes it's good to just have your Hawk move click on the enemy hero you're ganking. That way you always keep vision of them, and then they usually won't have time to turn around and kill your Hawk because they'll be running away from you. As we see a fight going on mid. Axe luckily blinks out in time. And they managed to defend the tower. This Beastmaster has been really good about protecting his tower. He knows how important the mid tower is. And they do get the deny, which is pretty nice.
Has been denied. Bastards. Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
As I was saying before, his playstyle is pretty risky in terms of farm, because you're not going to farm a lot. He was top 3 net worth, now he's top 5, and he's going to drop quite a bit, I think, because he's not really hitting any creeps. Not to like criticize this guy's play, but I think something you could do is maybe buy a Quelling Blade since you're not really in want of item slots, and go farm the jungle. As we see a fight breaking out here, he roars the axe, and just runs away. That's really unfortunate. The whole team was there and didn't have any spells up. Places a ward before he dies. I'm not really sure if that was worth it. Yeah, his team is quite bad at dealing with the PL and Axe, unfortunately. And their only like real good carry is the Drow, and they have one. They don't even have any ranged right clickers on their team. I guess Avenge could count. But as I was saying before, maybe like a good modification to this playstyle is if you got a Quelling Blade and you just sat in the jungle farming. Sometimes it's not possible because you have a carry who needs the jungle, but it would be pretty good to stay off the map and still be able to gank because you can travel to your Hawk. Pretty micro efficient also because you don't really need to watch your hero while you're jungling. Just a thought, if anyone wants to try it, you can tell me how it works out. But his farm has been pretty bad. Like in the past 13 minutes, he's farmed a Necro 1, which is no good. And he does go down here without even casting anything, which is pretty bad. This is the problem with Beastmaster, why people feel like he's super weak, because he's really bad in team fights. Like, he roars someone, but so what? That's a 3.5 second stun. 3 second stun even, because he didn't level up. And then you have axes, and then you can sort of summon a board to slow, but you don't really do any damage. There are plenty of heroes that do a lot more. This is why people don't really pick him, and why he's seen as very weak. But this guy wins with him, so seems to be pretty effective. At least he can win games in the 5k plus bracket pretty efficiently. Seems like this is the one playstyle that works. I have never seen a successful offlane Beastmaster in the high level brackets, and I don't see any successful support Beastmasters either.
Top tower is destroyed.
The way this guy wins most of his games is he basically just dominates the mid lane with his boar pulling tricks, which he does almost every game, and then he just destroys the enemy safe lane over and over again. But this game, the safe lane is a PL, so very hard to kill, and he's also being played by a mid 6k player, so even harder to kill. Alright, so he's gonna farm the enemy jungle. Try to stay off the map as much as you can if you're a ganking hero. And it's still not gonna level his ultimate, still valuing the points in aura. It's understandable. I don't think 0.5 more seconds of lockdown on the PL is really gonna do much. What he needs is a Lion to be there with him, but I really don't know what the Lion's been doing this game. Beastmaster is seen as a BKB counter, the hero, because all his damage is physical, and he has a BKB piercing stun, the longest in the game. So he's really good against heroes who buy BKB. But this game, there's maybe one hero who buys BKB, and that's Sniper, and he only buys it situationally if there's like a storm or anything, so probably not the best pick. Though he plays this every game, so I don't think he really cares about counterpicking or whatever. But since you guys are probably not Beastmaster fanatics, just note that he's really good against BKB heroes. So against something like a Shadow Fiend, he's very nice. And for now, he's just trying to catch up in farm. His farm is still pretty abysmal. He's dropped to top 6, and he's only 82 CS at 23 minutes. His Hawk macro is still pretty on point. Just gonna hover it over the trees, keep vision of the enemy jungle. Just because of his Hawks, he knows where 2 of the enemy heroes are, and he sees the PL bottom as well. So he does have his Necro 3. Really high killing potential now. Can probably solo anyone except for the Phantom Lancer. And maybe even the Axe he can kill, I'm not sure. But your damage output with Necro 3 is pretty ridiculous. He does have max aura as well, so anyone who gets hit by him is gonna lose all their mana. So this Wraith King is probably an easy kill, if you can find it. Oh, but the Hawk actually dies at the right time. So he just TP top. Nice throw on the PL, and can summon his Necros. Look at the PL just die. No mana to do anything, and pretty nice team fight for his team. Oh, this Drow though. That's unfortunate.
You're no great shakes.
Look how fast the Necro attacks with the aura. That's ridiculous. But yeah, in fights, when you choose who to roar, it's usually going to be the hero that requires the most lockdown to kill. So PL is a good choice. Sniper is probably a very good choice since he's pretty hard to pin down since he's positioning himself really well. And maybe even heroes like Earthshaker who do a lot with their spells. You really wouldn't want to roar heroes like the Wraith King or Axe unless they're super out of position and you can just kill them immediately.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
So he is level 16. He did pick up another point in ultimate. Probably a miss skill at level 15 or whatever, just putting a point in stats. Too many, but it's whatever. And he does have a Hawk here. Not really microing the Hawk in his jungle, but doesn't seem to be a huge deal.
Gold for me.
So let's see what his next item is. He's gonna go for a BKB. Solid choice, I would think. Looks like he's gonna go for the sniper kill. And this is where you would summon a this is where you would summon a Hawk. He did it a little bit too late, and looks like he's gonna die here. A bit of a misplay there, but when you go for ganks like that and someone kills your Hawk, like the sniper did there, if you have another Hawk, just summon it immediately, because if you saw what happened there, he got fogged on his roar twice. The sniper just ran around the trees, and he was mid-animation for his roar 2 times, but he couldn't get it off. If he just summoned his Hawk first and then roared, he would have gotten it off. Just a bit of a, maybe a bit of a panic play. Alright, so he is going for BKB. Pretty understandable this game since they do have an Earthshaker, and the Sniper and PL are pretty annoying in terms of mana burn and just canceling his move speed and whatever. Items people usually go on Beastmaster, they go for Blink, which is pretty nice. But there is a Sniper this game, and there isn't much you can do with Blink because he already uses the Hawk to get in position for team fights. We haven't really seen it too much since all we've seen are ganks and counter ganks. But when we see team fights, we'll see how this guy team fights. And it's pretty interesting. So people usually go for Blink if you really need to Blink roar someone. People go for Aghanim Scepter, which I think is not so good because it doesn't increase your team fight potential. It just increases, I think, the range on the roar and I think a slight cooldown. But there are better utility items. People go like any item on Beastmaster really because he's like super utility as a hero. He doesn't really need damage items because he's not going to do too much damage in fights. Just going to provide aura for his team. People go Vlad's, AC, Pipe. Some people go for like Shiva's Hex, which is pretty nice. Having that extra disable. But he's going to go for BKB this game. Okay, looks like he's back to farming.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
And he's gonna spot the sniper here. Probably not gonna go for it since the map is pretty dark right now. No one's really showing.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
The boots of travel into the Hawk really allows him to split push as well. Looks like he's considering going for it. Nope.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
You can sort of push and then TP to your Hawk. Oh my god, looks like he TP to a range creep and he's gonna miss this fight. That's really unfortunate. I don't think he could have done much anyway because the drow was in there, but he's gonna have to walk back. Yeah, but what you could do is push a lane and then TP to your Hawk into a team fight so that you're always gonna be at a team fight even if they're in the jungle and there's no creeps around because you have your Hawk with them. But his Hawk died and then the creepy TP2 also died as well. And looks like he's gonna get picked off here as well. That's unfortunate.
Mega kill. Burnage. Dire's top barracks are under attack.
And that might be game. I'm not sure. I would like to see him team fight at least once, so we're gonna speed this up a bit. Sorry about that.
Dire's top barracks of Dire's middle tower is now very deadly.
Okay, so it looks like they're gonna have a Rosh fight. Hawk is really good for scouting Roshan because it has insane vision and it doesn't get affected by the Roshan fog. So it looks like I'm gonna catch them out. Unfortunately it doesn't get the steal, but good roar on the sniper and make sure that they can't do any damage. Really good ravage. Gets 4 of them.
Double kill.
Looks like we're gonna get a 3-man wipe for basically nothing. That was pretty good. And it looks like they catch the Wraith King out here too. It's pretty nice.
Keep murdering. 3 innocent lives taken.
So the Hawk was really good for helping them win that fight there. And he made sure to aurora the sniper, who is probably the most threatening on their team. Roaring the Axe or the Wraith King, probably not too useful. They don't do too much damage for how hard they are to bring down. Alright, so he did finish his BKB. We'll see what item he goes for next. The core for this build is usually just Boots of Travel Necro, and then he usually goes for BKB or Force Staff, depending on the heroes. Sometimes he goes for AC if he's really snowballing. Basher is pretty nice, just for the anti-BKB theme. And looks like he's gonna find the sniper, but his Hawk gets killed by neutrals. Alright, so we're gonna fast forward until the next team fight.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
My spirit echoes.
Alright, so looks like there's gonna be something breaking out mid. He has a nice Hawk keeping vision in the team fight. He's gonna use Axis for deep pushing and
Dire's bottom tower under
alright, so what he does here is really cool. He uses the Hawk to flank the team fight and TP in and immediately roar the sniper. And that basically just wins them the fight.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So there was no need for a Blink Dagger there because he was able to use the Hawk to flank the team. Really nice use of the Boots of Travel there. having a Hawk for a team fight is really important. It's the same as dropping a ward when you fight. Something that a lot of people don't really understand the importance of having vision where you fight. It gives you a huge advantage just because you can position yourself better in relation to the enemy team, and you know where everyone is. And dear lord, TPs from full HP and still dies. That's just because the PL is super farmed. What does he have? Sorry about this. Where's the item thing? Wow. Manta, Scotty, Diffusal 2, and Eagle Song. Boosted travel in 36 minutes. But yeah, this game's pretty much over. The PL is a bit too big. I'm not sure how I feel about uploading this one because I don't think it was super good. I just wanted to show you guys this way of playing Beastmaster. He's not a super interesting or strong hero at this point. I know he's like bottom of the popularity for hero picks, but I just thought that this way of playing Beastmaster is pretty nice. If you guys want to try on your pubs, the board pulling is really the main thing to try. It's really cool. Alright, I think that's it for this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I think this one was maybe a bit subpar, but I'm a bit too busy to do multiple takes, and I do want to put these out in a sort of normal schedule, like once every 3 or 4 days. This one is already a bit late, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the next hero is going to be Bloodseeker, which will probably be a bit more interesting. I know a lot of people love to play Bloodseeker in their pubs, so that'll be fun to watch. Anyway, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.